Hi, I'm Vera VanGuard for FirstGlance Film Festival, and I'm here with Chris Harboldt of Boss of the Toss. He's the writer, director, and everything, the
Well, not
producer as
everything.
well.
Producer, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us, this was the funniest movie I've seen. This is a film short about cornhole players and their rivalries, and it is the funniest thing. Okay, my first question
Thank
is, tell me about the t-shirts.
well, that was my idea. Looking at comedy, one of the aspects is visual.
Yeah,
So I just figured, if I had some punny T-shirts, that maybe I could get some laughs.
right.
So I think they worked out really well.
They really did. There was a really great soundtrack, and it was really, really funny. Like your actors, tell me about the actors, and then how your writing process came together. Because this was a really great comedy. I don't normally laugh out loud, but I was laughing like crazy. And I also, as a personal thing, hate cornhole. But you made it funny for me. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh God, they made a film about this." Oh, and then it was just one laugh after the next, and
Oh,
your
thank you,
actors were fabulous.
thank you, thank you. My actors, I knew most of them.
Hmm.
I worked with them mostly as a producer.
Hmm.
So, like Angela and John, my two leads,
Hmm.
they had worked together previously, and I knew they had a chemistry. So I figured if I could get them, that would be great. Um, Jazz played the villain,
Hmm.
Donnie Dixon, the Destroyer.
Hmm.
He's actually a professional announcer for MMA and boxing.
Uh-huh.
So he was actually supposed to play the announcer originally,
Hmm.
but I had cast that. So the actor for that dropped out. So another actor that I really wanted to work with, Stefan Johnson, I was able to get him in there for the announcer's role, and we kind of switched it up, and it worked out great.
Hmm. Now tell me, how did how did this idea? Are you an avid cornhole player? What
I dabble.
you dabble?
I dabble.
So semi-professional
Yeah,
now.
somewhat. Recreational. I have a couple brewskis, and I do
Right,
all right.
right. So you wanted to? Were you like playing one day, and you're like, I can do a film about this?
Well, actually, there was a video, and it
Hmm.
might have went viral. I'm not sure. It was for a charity event,
Hmm.
and they had a brawl. Hats were flying, and polo shirts were getting ripped off, and I was like, it was hilarious.
Right.
So I figured, I wonder, what the heck went on there? Maybe they had a little gambling going on, and some wagers. So that was kind of the impetus for the story, and I think it really took off with the Grammys role. Um, when I had her grief gambling, I came up with grief gambling. I didn't want her to just be a degenerate.
Right.
So, and I thought it gave her a little empathy, a little sympathy, and then also a little rooting for the main character, John. So that's kind of how that all came together.
Hmm. Tell me a little bit about the post production, because the editing was fantastic, the soundtrack was great, and it was really fun the way you had that 80s training montage in there. Tell me about the post production part of that.
Actually, for me, I had a blast with it because I used to edit
Right.
a long time ago back in the day, and my editor James Neiman just fantastic. So I kind of worked closely with him, and Eli did the soundtrack. I basically just gave him a couple notes and I let him run with it,
Hmm.
and yeah, it all came together. I'm huge with collaboration, so if the sound guy has a suggestion and it just makes the film better, to me, everything that can elevate the movie, I'm all for it.
Well, it came together really, really well, because it really is a
Thank
laugh out loud film short. Um, at the end, you get this very satisfying conclusion to everything. The boy gets the girl, grandma's out of debt, the big bad bully is like, well, so much for this time. Get you next time.
you.
So it was really, really, I love to see a full story come to a conclusion, and we
Thank
have
you.
like that satisfying ending. Tell me about, as a producer, so you've been producing for a while then,
Yes.
and were you also doing film shorts, or are you planning on doing a feature film? Is this a proof of concept?
originally it was a proof of concept, but I kept writing.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how I tied it all together.
Mhm.
I have one that is coming up, a proof of concept.
Mhm.
But originally, I was in a screenwriting meetup group,
Mhm.
and we had an eclectic group. We had actors, actresses, novelists, and one of the local actresses suggested, "Why don't we make something?" So I had heard about the 48-hour film project.
Right.
So we did that.
Mhm.
Did actually really well,
Mhm.
and then it kind of snowballed from there, and I caught the filmmaking bug.
Great. So, do you want to expand this particular Boss of the Toss into a feature
I
film,
would love to.
like Dodgeball? Like this is
Yes.
another kind of Dodgeball
Right.
moment but it's a whole nother kind of rivalry gangs, but
Yes.
we got that love story in there. I think it would make for a great feature film.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for being at
Thank
First
you.
Glance Film
Thank you for
Festival,
having me.
and I can't wait to see Boss of the Toss on the big screen
Me
here.
too.